Extended school year, or ESY, and summer school are not the same thing. Schools will use these terms interchangeably, but they're not interchangeable. They will often call what they are proposing as ESY. However, what they are offering meets summer school standards instead. I am not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. Please seek an attorney for your specific situation. This is for educational and informational purposes only. Here are some highlights from a letter on rightslaw.com to special education teachers from Nissan B. Barlev, Director of Special Education. What follows is a compilation of ESY standards discussed by various federal courts throughout the country. ESY is based on several factors. Standard number 1, no single criterion. Saying it is based solely on regression or recoupment was denied by Royce v. Fountain in 1994. Standard number 2, regression recoupment. Battle versus Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in 1980 speaks to this. The key question before the IEP committee is whether the child needs services in the summer in order to secure the minimum benefits of a free and appropriate public education in the fall. Standard number 3, emerging skills. Royce v. Fountain again. The court noted that emerging skills and breakthrough opportunities, as when a child is on the brink of learning to read or on the brink of really understanding their behaviors, can and should be incorporated into the eligibility analysis. The child is in a critical stage of developing a skill which has great potential for increasing his or her self-sufficiency. If such a skill is not completely acquired and mastered, it is likely that the current level of acquisition will be lost due to the interruption of summer vacation. Standard number 4, nature and severity of the child's disability. No disability category may be excluded from consideration for ESY. The next standards address the how of an extended school year. Standard number 5, notice and timing. Again, Royce v. Fountain. Also a decision of the U.S. District Court in Maryland. The appropriateness of an IEP or 504 students' needs for ESY should be considered at each annual review meeting, and that parents sign a form acknowledging their receipt of this information. The district must document the discussion and the decision reached after consideration of ESY eligibility is considered. Standard number 6, content and duration of ESY services. Once more, Royce v. Fountain decision determines that individualized determinations of the number of weeks, days, and hours per day that each student receiving ESY should be provided is individualized. ESY is not a set time or a set number of days for a set period of time. If your school offers ESY and then states when it is happening, that is summer school, not ESY. Some ESY services may extend over the summer, while others provide only for periodic contact with professionals or assistance to parents in providing instruction or reinforcement to their children. The Office of Special Education Programs, or OSEP, in their letter to BAW in 1987, says that limiting the duration of summer programs for students with disabilities would violate the basic requirement that programs be designed to meet the individual needs of each child. The content of the child's ESY program must be determined on an individual basis. ESY services are at no cost to parents and is determined by the child's IEP, Individualized Education Program, which that team includes the parent as an equal member. Standard number 7, ability of parents to provide an educational structure at home is another consideration for ESY. This comes from several cases: Johnson versus Bixby in the 10th Federal Circuit Court in 1990, Battle versus Pennsylvania in the 3rd Federal Circuit Court in 1980. The IEP committee may recommend ESY services after concluding that parents are not able or willing to provide home structured opportunities, or the involvement of exceptional education needs staff during the summer is necessary to offset the impact of regression and recoupment. And again, remember that regression and recoupment does include behavioral. Extended school year is not mandated 12-month service for all students with disabilities. It is not required for the convenience of the school or parents, and therefore cannot serve as a daycare or respite care service. It is not required or intended to maximize educational opportunities for students with disabilities. It is not necessary to continue instruction on all the previous year's IEP goals during the ESY period. Rather, the focus should be on those specific critical skills where regression due to an extended vacation period may occur. It is not to be considered to help students with disabilities advance in their relation to their peers, so no learning new skills. It is not for those students with disabilities who exhibit regression which is solely related to medical problems resulting in degeneration or transitional life situations such as divorce or death of a family member. This type of regression is not due to the interruption of summer vacation. It is not required solely when a child fails to achieve IEP goals and objectives. During the school year, it is not to provide a child with education beyond that which is prescribed in his or her IEP goals and objectives. If you're wanting ESY for your child and your school is denying based on any of the previous reasons that I mentioned, contact me and I will be happy to see if we can get something organized for your child or your students. If this is a teacher listening and you're thinking your students are not being provided for, ESY is only offered to students who have an IEP or a 504. Summer school is offered to everyone. ESY is individualized. Summer school is not necessarily. ESY does not have to be provided by special educators, but they should have knowledge of your students' individual needs, accommodations, and modifications, and ESY should have specific goals that will be getting worked on during that extended school year time. It does not just happen in the summer. It can happen over Christmas break, spring break, fall break, after school, before school, whenever it would be deemed necessary. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Again, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. Thank you for joining me today.